Hello, my name is Gabby Walden, and I'm going to be presenting my explanation of the art that we have been studying and my design for the museum gallery of this artwork. It's going to be titled The Art of the Etruscans, and first I'm going to show the ground plan and the layout of what the gallery will look like. So here's the design that I came up with and a model and a key for you to be able to see it clearly. So just continue looking at that down below if you need a visual, and just imagine this with me. So the floor plan is going to be mainly a long rectangle. I think that this will really guide the flow of viewers so that they can just go across each wall to look at the artwork. It'll also be a big open space capped off at the end with a big rounded wall made of windows. I think that this is going to let in a lot of natural light, and it's just going to be a really inviting and open space for everyone to freely walk around, admire the artwork, and have a comfortable, not claustrophobic space to learn more about the Etruscan artwork. I also just really love the look of natural light. I think that it's going to make the room really bright and airy, and kind of the whole theme that I wanted to tie in here with this building was to kind of tie it in with nature, so it includes some plants, make it kind of homey so that people want to stay and lounge and chat about the artwork, not just glance at it once, but really take the time to think about it in this beautiful space. The next thing is that the flooring is going to be hardwood, just nice and clean, and then the walls are going to be white, which is going to leave really the only thing for them to look at to be the artwork, so that is the main focus. Again, just like clean white walls, not distracting. And then so the lounge areas are going to be on the very far end over by the windows. There's going to be tables and chairs so that people can sit and chat, look out the window if they want to, and just kind of be cozy in that area. And then additionally, as soon as you walk into the entrance to the right, there's going to be some couches and benches so that you can sit and watch a film about the artwork and its context, to just give maybe a more visual explanation of the Etruscans and the artwork that they've created, instead of just reading everything off of the object label and description. And then to the left of the entrance, that's where the introductory statement and the map and the timeline are going to be placed, so that right off the bat people are walking in, they know what to expect, they know what they're going to be looking at, and they can just go ahead and clearly get a view of that in their head before they take their time looking at each piece. For the actual artwork itself is going to be displayed on pedestals so that it can be at the height of people, displayed with kind of some like honor to it. And then it's going to have spotlights above it to kind of rain down light like sunbeams, and really make sure that they can see all the details of the artwork and that it's lit up very nicely. On the pedestals, there's also going to be the objects label and number with a description of what each piece is, where it's from, and all the details behind it that they would need to know. Secondly, I'm going to be reading the introductory statement that viewers will see and get to read to give them an understanding of the Etruscans and where they come from as soon as they enter the museum gallery. It says, Etruria, located in central Italy between the Arno and Tiber rivers, it was the home of the Etruscans, an ancient Italic culture. These people, developing from the earlier Villanova culture, were linguistically identified by 700 BCE, and then they existed until their culture was subsumed by the Romans at the end of 2nd century BCE. The Etruscan sites have been excavated intensively, with a focus on sanctuaries and cemeteries such as Cerveteri, Tarquinia, Vetulonia, and Volsci. While approximately 13,000 Etruscan texts have been excavated, most of them are short and don't provide much insight into the culture. So most of our knowledge from the Etruscans actually comes from art and archaeology, including vividly colored tomb paintings and depictions of life, death, and mythology in those. Etruria was rich in materials like metal, including copper and iron, and the Etruscans developed into master metalsmiths. You can see this in a lot of their art. The Etruscans also had a close relationship with Greek colonies in southern Italy, resulting in significant Greek influence in their art and in their pottery, which you can see in the Orientalizing period. One of the most notable was Bucero. It was the most successful Greek-influenced Etruscan pottery style, and it was characterized by a shiny black surface, and it was shaped after metal vessels. During the Archaic and Classical periods, the Etruscans participated in extensive trade with the Mediterranean to access precious metals such as amber, ivory, ostrich eggs, and semi-precious stones. The Etruscans are known for their finely worked bronzes, hammered reliefs, and ornate vessels. They're also known for their impressive sculptures and architectural reliefs made of terracotta, as well as their striking funerary works, like urns carved in high relief. There's also some jewelry that has survived, which is actually on display. And then that is made with materials like gold and other precious stones that were drawn on from Eastern Greek and Levantine forms, and it was adapted to fit the Etruscan style. And lastly, other Etruscan artworks are also influenced by Greek iconography, especially mythological iconography, but that's sometimes hard to interpret. Accompanying the introductory statement, there's going to be a timeline that I put together, which you'll be able to see more closely down below, but this is just a further and more clear explanation of the timeline that was discussed in the introductory statement with clear visuals of the dates and what happened in each period. Now for the actual work that's going to be on display in the gallery. The first piece is right here. It's a pair of earrings, and it is titled 2 Single Ball Earrings. They're made out of gold, and they're from the Archaic period, which is 6th century BCE. They're only about 1 centimeter tall, and they're currently located in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. These earrings show a lot of really fine details with things that were popular at the time, like made out of wires, and shows the use of delicate filigree palmettes. The second piece looks like this. It's called the Lion Ring with Satyr Heads. This is from the late Archaic period, which is early 5th century BCE. And it's made out of gold and carnelian. This piece is also from the art market and is currently located in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It also measures about 2.7 centimeters in diameter across. And as you can see on the ring, in the center is a bird that has a snake in its beak, and on the sides are 2 identical faces facing the opposite direction from each other. The last piece of art that will be on display is right here. It is called the Carved Bow of Fibula. As you can see, there are really fine details carved in here on the garments of these 2 that are laying next to each other. This piece is from the Archaic period, and it dates to about 500 BCE. It is made out of amber, and it is 14 centimeters in length. This one was acquired off the art market and is again currently displayed in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Lastly, I want to end with a statement about how these pieces came to the museum from the art market. The art market can sometimes be a controversial topic in the art world because the pieces don't always have a clear track of ownership. However, I want to say that the museum acquired these pieces completely legally and fairly, and they came into our hands through purchasing them. The museum vows to take great care of these objects, where otherwise, if they were in someone else's hands, they might not have been taken such great care of. And it's also a good thing that these came from the art market, because the art market is such a vast pool of so many different artist pieces that they might get kind of lost in translation. But because the museum has purchased these, they get to be on display for the public eye to view, and they get to have the attention that they deserve. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.